morning. I haven't made a video in a while, so it's Monday, which is July 16th. Yeah, 2018. I just figured show a little update video of pretty much all the tanks, how they're doing. Just really needs trim back. Just been letting it grow. Gets crazy. This is a generation of fish that are 7 years old. They just multiply when they die off. Started out with 9. I think there's 14 of them in there now. But all of the originals died. The last one died off. It was 7 years old. It just died here just not too long ago, in about March. So in March this tank turned 8 years old. It's been moved several times and the landscaping has never changed. The only thing that's changed is the growth. But same fish have been in here for that long. So if you're wondering about cherry barbs, they live 8 years so far. And you got these called red and blue tetras. And you have them red-eye tetras back there, the black tetras, whatever you guys want to call them. A little bit of algae right there in the glass. But, yeah. There's just a carnival goldfish that we got since the ones in the 55 gallons are no longer with us, so we got another pair. They lasted 6 years for the carnival goldfish. So, and of course we got the spotted leaf fish. He's hungry. I'm gonna feed them here. And then we got this tank, which I really don't do too much with. Last year I lost all my big ones, so I bought maybe about 5 or 6 of these. The rest of them were hand-me-downs. Dominant in another of my friends' tanks, getting beat up, so I took them in. I just threw some stuff in here, no landscaping, or aquascaping if you want to call it. I just threw some rocks in there, but for the most part, I don't really do too much with this tank. Catfish is in there somewhere. It's probably in the castle. Here's the 55 where the goldfish were. There's not really much in here right now. The swords kind of died off. Not quite sure what happened to them. I don't know if maybe the light bulbs just whatever. Blackbeard algae is kind of taking over. And I took one of the catfish out. He's in here somewhere. Oh, there's another red-eye tetra. Oh, there he is. You can see his fin back there in his eye. There he is. But he's had a feast. I put him in here and he ate all the tetras. That's the only one left. And he ate one of the other golden wonders, the female. I don't know how he did it, but he was like laying in this floating patch. And I guess he just somehow ate it. But he was fighting with that catfish right there, and they were tearing each other up, so I had to separate them. So I made a choice to put that one in there, and of course I kind of figured he'd eat some of the tetras up, and he did. But not much to see. This tank I've kind of just let go. Not quite sure what to do with it until I figure out what to do with that catfish. I really can't put anything else in there, so we will see what happens. On to the next tank. So here's a tank that we haven't seen for a while either. It's just a clown tank. It's just them in it. It's the way it was supposed to be. It's the way it's always going to be. Just them, snails, shrimp. There's the shrimp right there, just chilling out. But, moving on. And last but not least, here is the 40. I cleaned out my new Purgen bags and stuck them in a sump, and it made my protein skimmer go crazy. And it looks like it affected some of the corals too. I don't know if it's because of the bubbles, because it, man, did it ever go crazy. It made my floor wet. It just overflowed a whole gallon within like, I don't know, 2 hours. Like, it was just crazy. I have it turned all the way down right now. So this thing's doing really well, starting to grow onto the rock, but the other side is getting stung up, as you can see by that thing. It's crazy with its sweepers. And Dunkets are doing really well. Look at the new heads in the backside of there. Say Dunkins, I'm sorry. Acans. This thing's doing really well. It's done, accepted itself onto the rock. Little zoa garden going on here with a bunch of frags. As you can see right there, it looks like a little bit of Oxenias broke loose and captured itself right there. You know, nobody can figure out what these are. I just think that they're some kind of elephant shroom or something. Look at the mouth on it in the center there. And the trumpets are doing horrible. They've always done horrible. I've moved them everywhere and don't quite know what happened to that bird's nest. It bleached out on me at the bottom. I mean, the tops of it still really good. I mean, apparently this area is doing really well. Does anybody see that? There's a clear little white sweeper right there. If anybody can see it. Right there. See it moving? Don't know what that is. See that? What is that? What kind of hitchhiker is that? But yeah. Anyways. These things are, oh, there you go. You can see where that stung the crap out of that side of it. Tongue didn't do very well. I'm not quite sure what happened there either. Chalice still going good. They're still doing really well. That's been affected by the pure again. Whoop, right there we go. Them trumpets are doing good. I got some shrooms growing there. I moved that one. All of my kryptonite trumpets are not doing very well. But my candy cane trumpets are doing perfectly fine. I don't understand, but whatever. This thing, I'm not quite sure. That thing stung it, and then once this thing gets its morning growth going, it lays over the back of that. Not quite sure what's going with that. That's the toadstool, and that's the finger, or the tongue. So I'm not quite sure why this one's not growing, but you can see the new growth on that one. I mean, not quite sure. I don't know. This thing's doing amazing. There's another chalice. You can see it kind of receded. I don't know if it's because this thing, when it gets, the lights grow, I mean, and it reaches for the lights. I don't know if it shadows it too much and it doesn't get it, because these zoas also have not grown any new heads too, but this batch has grown. So I don't know, I'm not quite sure if it's the lighting or the current or what, but or if it's these that are doing it. That brain's doing good. It actually has its some sweepers out. You can see them. There's the cleaner. I don't know if you can see it or not, but the big shroom that let its foot back there for the other two is right there in the middle between them rocks. That's where it ended up going. It is huge and super cool green. As you can see the difference between them bubble shrooms or whatever they are. versus the dark, deep neon green that shroom is. But it did leave me 2 right there, so I'm happy with that. So they'll cover that rock right there, which is going to look pretty sweet right there in the front where it's nice and bare. Yeah. So that's my video for this morning. Hope everyone liked it. Hopefully this tank gets itself back together. I'm not quite sure why the Purion bags made my protein skimmer go crazy. And I hope it didn't affect the water too bad. I'm probably going to check the water parameters, but I'm not quite sure why it would have, or maybe it was just I didn't put enough dechlorinator inside of it. I soaked them for like 3 days in dechlorinator, so I change the water every day. So we will see. Fish don't look too stressed. I know that the male fungi is holding again. As you can see how big his jaw is. I've watched them do it the other day. If you ever watch them breed, it's pretty crazy. It's cool. But there's the female right there, and there's the male with the big old jaw on him. But I never get to get the babies. So I'll try this time. Usually says about 28 days. We'll see what happens. That's tank update. Alright, everybody. You have a good one. Sorry it's been so long since I made a video. That's why this one's nice and long. Hope everyone enjoys. Peace.